Greetings, my fellow gamers, and welcome to the Gamer's Refuge. Finally, a video that's not a Skyrim video. Well, technically, I just mentioned Skyrim, so I guess that would kind of make it a Skyrim video. Fuck! But seriously, in this vlog, I want to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky. I know there's a ton of videos out there, but my main question is can No Man's Sky redeem itself? You know, in the days leading up to it actually launching, there was like a shit ton of hype. You know, and all this, stuff that was supposed to be in the game. A lot of people were counting on it, like the multiplayer, like massive space battles, and many other things. So, and when it actually released, there's a lot of disappointment. I was among the people that were a little disappointed in the game. I was expecting, for the core game itself, it was pretty much what I was expecting, but certain things that we were told that were going to be in the game, specifically the multiplayer, that was the main thing that I was really kind of looking forward to. Maybe exploring the universe with some of my friends or something like that. And I was really looking forward to that aspect of the game, and we were led to believe that that would be in the game. And of course, when released, we found out pretty fucking quickly that no, that was not the case. It was there was no multiplayer at all. The the extent of the interaction with other players was simply that if they found a star system, they could like name the planets, rename the animals, plants, shit like that, and upload it to where other players could see that someone discovered that. And I did see a couple of star systems that were discovered by other players, so that part was legit. But the actual playing with other people or bumping into other players and stuff, that was just basically total bullshit. So that was like my biggest disappointment with the game. As the game itself, I was expecting basically a game where you go and you explore and bounce planet to planet and whatnot, and that's pretty much what we got. Within the first week, they lost like 90% of their player base. That is fucking unheard of in a 1 week time span. 90% of the player base gone. People were snagging refunds left and right and whatnot. But now we move on, to now. After several months, Hello Games finally broke their silence. Like a dump truck rolling through a nitroglycerin plant. Anybody catch the reference on that one? But honestly, it wasn't quite that dramatic. They released an update. And, and it wasn't just like a regular little, bullshit update where they just put a couple of things. It was actually a pretty fucking major update. Among some things, they, I guess, fixed some of the bugs. They added some visual effects, like the blurring effect or whatever when you're traveling at high speed, stuff like that. But most notably, they added base building. Now, granted, you cannot build wherever the hell you want. It has to be within, certain areas that are labeled as a habitable base. So you start with this little round, this little round building, and then you can add on to it and expand it out and all that within, a round, field or whatever. So, but I mean, it's a start. So that part of it, actually, I've been playing it a little bit, and the base building's pretty cool. They added they have three different modes. They have the normal mode, which is just the normal game. Then they have a survival mode, which I haven't even tried yet, but I've heard other gamers talk about it's considerably more difficult or whatever. And then they have a creative mode, where you really don't have to worry about resources and all that. You just build, you know, and you don't have to worry about gathering resources for your warp drive and, you know, your pulse engine, and, you know, resources to recharge your mining tool, you know, bolt caster and all that. You just, when it runs out, you just click on it and automatically just refills. So really there's no need to really gather resources, really, from what I've seen of the creative mode so far. But I mean, you can just focus on exploration and, you know, building your base if you want, or what have you. So, you know, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and on top of that, they did add another thing where you can now buy those big ass space freighters. You know, and granted, they're like over 7 million units or whatever. So, you know, you're gonna be grinding for a little while trying to, you know, get that money up. But, you know, for a big ass space freighter, hey, what the hell? You know, I'll go grinding and, you know, mining gold and, you know, emerald for a while until I get the funds up and whatever. At least it's a start. You know, they didn't totally abandon the game amidst all of the criticism and the disappointment and all that. You know, they're actually taking measures to try to make the game what it was supposed to be originally. What, you know, a lot of people were led to believe that it was. I mean, it's still not there yet, but it's a lot closer than it was. And, you know, and I think another one of the disappointments was that when, you know, these fleets of freighters would come in, it was only like, you know, like a few of them or whatever. And but you could still have these little, you know, spaceship dogfights, because there'd be like these space pirates attacking them, and, you know, you'd have to take out like, you know, 7 or 8 of them or whatever. So, I mean, that was still there, but it wasn't like it was depicted in like the previews and stuff with these big, massive fleets. Well, since the update, I've noticed when these fleets of freighters pop in, the fleets have gotten a lot bigger. I actually seen, you know, myself in my gameplay, I came across actually, it was a pretty fucking huge fleet of these freighters. Of course, only one of them I could board, you know, that would be the one I would be able to purchase, but there were a lot of freighters there. So, you know, it seems like they're listening to the criticism on that, and they, you know, corrected that as well. So, you know, can No Man's Sky redeem itself and pull it out of this pit of despair and disappointment that it's sunk down into? Well, they got a pretty good start on it, I think. You know, if they keep going and they keep, you know, putting out these updates to, you know, add the things into the game that, you know, we were led to believe was going to be in there in the first place, then, you know, it may very well. You know, there are some people that are just totally ruined on it and will not return to it no matter what. And, you know, then there's other people that are hopeful, you know, and I'm one of them. You know, I am hopeful that, you know, they pull out of, you know, this funk that they got into when they released the game, and, you know, they make the game what it was supposed to be. So, yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes on the updates and keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. And, you know, so far with this one single update, it actually was a major improvement, you know, in my opinion. You know, and another thing to keep in mind is, I know during development their studio, you know, had gotten flooded, and a lot of their equipment got destroyed and whatnot. And, you know, you would think they would have backups of all the programming and stuff, but, you know, apparently they lost a lot of data, or at least that's what I heard. I can kind of understand, you know, maybe why the game wasn't as polished as it should have been when they released. You know, because, you know, from what I heard about all of that is they had to go and they had to do, you know, rewrite a lot of the code and stuff. And maybe it's, you know, because Sony put a deadline on them and wouldn't budge on it, you know, they just had to hurry up and get what they could done and get it released. I mean, they had a contractual obligation with Sony, and Sony's a big corporation, and Hello Games is just, this little tiny company. So, I mean, maybe there was something going on there as well, where Sony's like, no, you're going to release on this date, or we pull our contract, whatever. I mean, you know, what have you. But I also know that Sony offered financial support to aid in the development of the game, and Hello Games turned it down. At least, again, that's one of the things that I did here. So, I mean, it's kind of a two-way thing there. I mean, if Sony did offer financial support and offered their help in developing the game, you know, I think maybe they should have accepted that, and, you know, it might have, you know, helped their, you know, development speed on the game a little bit. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I mean, you know, you can't go back and change anything. What's done is done, and, you know, at least now they're taking the steps, you know, to, you know, correct where they screwed up. So hopefully they keep it up. Hopefully they, you know, they bring us some more updates and keep building upon what they have now added to the game and try to make it even better. You know, the base building isn't the best I've ever seen, but, you know, it's a lot better than what was in the game initially. So, you know, it's still not bad. It's still not bad though. So, but hopefully they keep building upon that and building upon other aspects of the game to keep making it better and better. So, you know, hopefully they can pull themselves out of this rut and, you know, redeem the game and redeem themselves as a company, as, you know, Hello Games. So, and hopefully in the future, you know, hopefully with this, you know, whole situation, you know, hopefully everybody, you know, at the, you know, in the development team and, you know, the company, hopefully they learn something, you know, from all this, and will hopefully be a little bit more forthcoming in the future when, you know, they're developing, you know, their next game or whatever. So, but, you know, let me know what you think. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about this whole No Man's Sky debacle, and, you know, and if you've checked out the updates, you know, what you think of them. You know, so, you know, leave that down below in the comments. And as always, I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos. Until the next time, I will see you in the games.